Hello, my name is Mohammed Boras and I go by Adam. And today I would like to start our first lecture on Introduction to SAS. Uh, I have created this introduction. So about me, about myself. So I'm a PhD. I have a PhD in health informatics. I am a data analyst, project manager, and a solution architect. In the last 10 years, I've been working in healthcare. I have an experience in business management and finance, and currently I'm building expertise in public health informatics and health economics. For more information, please consult my LinkedIn account. I will post it on my channel so you guys can check about my expertise for help or any consulting opportunity. So what is it about? This is an introduction course to SAS because I've been working using SAS for the last 7 years, and I would like to share my expertise with you guys and as well learn more things from you and for your feedback and connecting with like-minded people. So I'm expecting to post two videos twice a week, maybe 3 minutes to 10 minutes max, because I find that those kind of videos more attractive and it gives you the best things rather than having a boring 1 hour or half an hour video. And because this is an introduction, so I want you guys just to get the gist about it. As you get familiar, and if you need help, please feel free to contact me, and I will be more than happy to help as much as I can. I am open for consulting with your data analysis using SAS for clinical and non-clinical data. Consulting with debugging your SAS code, and you can email me to the email novice2expertsas@gmail.com. So before we start, I want you guys to go to this website, because SAS has created on-demand server for SAS for academicians, and you guys, you can create an account and learn SAS online, and it's cheap and you don't need to pay anything for it as long as you are within the academia. So let him give me a gist of what it is before jumping into other thing. So once you log in, you will see your account like this. So you have SAS Studio. That's what we are going to use in order to interact with SAS. Later, this is new features from SAS. It's called SAS Pi, and this one gives you like a possibility to use Python, so this way you can interact with SAS capabilities. As well, you can create your course and you can invite students to enroll in your course. Currently, I'm working in one of the courses which is about heart failure and comorbidities, and I will be more than happy to share with you guys my expertise. And once the course is complete, for those who show interest, I will send them a code, so this way so they can enroll in the class as you can see, because you need to have a code from me so in order to enroll in this class. So once you click on the SAS Studio, it will get you to this website or interactive SAS. It is taking a little bit of time, but yeah. So we are going. So let's save this one. So we'll talk more about this later. So once we or we can talk about it today. So basically, we have, that's where your server is located and your files are located. You have tasks and utilities from SAS. So, and it gives you import possibilities. You can have tasks like survival analysis and those kind of things. Once you click on it, it gives you like we can click on this one, and then you can use your data, and then you can build time series variables. You define your time series variable, and you do different things with it. We'll get to that another day, but not today. So, but keep an eye on my SAS channel, so this way we can have more, and we can have an opportunity to interact with each other. So you have a snippet here is the same thing, so you can create data. So you can generate an XML file, CSV file. You have descriptive statistics. You can create graphs if you want. You can create ELM, bootstrapping, etc. You can find as well different macros here that you like, if statement, quoting, micro variables, chart functions, and so on and so forth. We are going to go through this next time. And this is here your libraries where you have your data and other data from SAS. So when you are working with SAS here, so most of your data either will be in the work directory, or it will be saved on your local folder. And I'm going to discuss this in the next lecture when we finish this one. So we have file shortcuts. We'll talk about this more when we have more files to import to this. So okay, so before that, now, so here is one of the things. So SAS, what are the main components of SAS and the different the modes of the SAS. So SAS. So there are two main components for SAS, which are raw data and SAS data set. So which create data steps. Once you create the data step, you can create other. You get your SAS data set, and you can use data step again in order to create reports and outputs or proc steps, whatever. When we talk about data steps here, we can use as well a proc step, as we'll show you later. So in the next slide, we have here, like this is a feel of how your SAS file looks like. So you have your data stuff, which is saved in the working directory, and you give it a name. We'll talk about the naming convention in our future slides, in our future lectures. And so you give it a name, and then the input, you need to put this input, and you give it a name, and last name here, it's a character. When you see the $sign, that means it's a character, and in this case you give it 1 to 20. The size of the character is bits, so from 1 to 20. For the first name, it will start from 21 to 30. So basically, here you have 9 bits. The size of the first name. The job title will start from 36 to 43, and basically it has how many? It has 7 bits. So the salary is from 54 to 59. So it has 5 bits. So once you have the data read from your file, and that file can be CSV file, it can be a raw file, it can be a data file. So we are going to talk about that, so this way you guys understand different type of files SAS can read. Then you can use a proc print. So this is this step, it's called data step. In here we have proc print, which is data work, that stuff, and we just basically printing the information about the stuff table, SAS data file, and we are going to go through this in the future lectures. So we have proc steps, and this one, it has print and it has means, and here basically we are printing the mean salary, or by job titles. So different job titles might have different means. And in order to define those grouping, we use class, because job titles are class. So for SAS, in order to read the data, it's it differs from operating system to another operating system. If you are someone who is using Mac, so that's the way you should read your data. I am not that. For example, when you have here this raw data file, that's what you need to put so you can read your data file. But if you are Windows users, that's the way you input your file there. I am Windows. I have been using SAS in Windows. Currently, I'm using Unix in order to do that, and I will show you more information as we move forward. So then in here we have step boundaries. So SAS steps begin with either one of the following either data statement or proc statement. If SAS doesn't see anything like this, it will show you it will stop working, and it will show an error in the log file. So you have SAS detect the end of the steps when it encounters one of the following: either run or quit. The beginning of another steps is data statement or proc statement. So you can start with the data statement, or with proc means, and then inside the data step. So in here, as you can see here, like this is the keywords that SAS understand what you are trying to do. Like for the data, basically this is the data steps. So you are saying, let's read the data from wherever location is the data is located. And this one proc print, it prints the data for you, and proc means it does some kind of summary of your data. So then, running a SAS program, you can invoke SAS in the following ways: either interactive Windows mode, SAS windowing environment, as I showed you in the website here, or interactive menu-driven mode like SAS Enterprise Guide, SAS Assist, SAS AF, or SAS ES software. So this one, we have some of this in the online on-demand SAS server, but is not that as comprehensive as the SAS Enterprise, for instance, if you have it in your desktop. So you have batch mode, and you have non-interactive mode as well, Unix system. So currently I'm working on non-interactive mode, where you just write your code like you are writing Python or R, and then you run that in a server, and then you get your result. So this is like interactive Windows enable you to interact with SAS, something like this. So we were, as I showed you, like in the task and utilities, we were able to interact with the SAS with proc steps, procedures, so data procedures, so we can get whatever analysis we want to do. Later, we have, for those who have Unix or patch execution, you need to include this PLS, place the JSL appropriate for your location before your SAS statement. I don't have an Apple or a Mac system, so I'm not exactly familiar with how it works, but it shouldn't be difficult. Basically, you should input these statements, so this way you can be able to run the data steps and proc steps as you move forward. For non-interactive execution, you need a directory based, where you have your SAS file name, and you as well, or if you are in a Mac, you need a SAS input or file name. So that's basically it. So let's show you one. Let's run this one. Although we didn't define this, we didn't define where output is located, because I don't have any SAS file any file that I will read from, and so I will run this one. And as you can, so in order to run this, you select this. This is how it runs. So you select these data steps. When you run it, it will run, but as you can see, there is no data. But if we go to our log file, you can see that there is an error. It says physical file does not exist. So we need to upload a raw file. So this way, so either a CSV file or Excel file. So this way, SAS know exactly what we are talking about. So this okay. So for the warning, so let's see what the warning it says. Warning: the data set work stuff might be incomplete. When this step was stopped, there were 0 observation and 4 variable. So basically that's it. So let's say, but the file is created. So let's see where the file is located. So the file will be in the working directory, as I can imagine, because we have defined it will be in the working directory. So if we run this one, it will give us some information about the file. So if you go to result here and you click table of content, but there is nothing to show because there is no data, there is no information. So if we go to code and we run this one as well, so we click in this running man, as you can see, if we go to result, there is no error, but there is no thing to show because there is no data in our file. So the next lecture, we are going to have a file that we can interact with, and we can discuss more information as we move forward. Thank you for your attention and looking forward to interact with you in the future. Thank you. Have a good day.